Hi, everybody, and welcome to the Magickal Mothering Podcast. My name's Dania Foster. I'm an energetics therapist and a naturopath. I'm here to support mums who are struggling with burnout and disconnect whilst raising highly sensitive kids. So, let's talk about when you can't reduce the stress in your life. Let's build resilience. So, this is a very busy time of year. Coming up to the end of the year, we've got a lot more extra demands on us, especially as mums who are trying to organize Christmas activities, Christmas events, Christmas presents, family outings, and family get-togethers, end-of-year concerts, all of the things. There's so many more things I probably have forgotten to mention, but there's a lot on our plate. And there's this overwhelming message that mums or women need to de-stress, that need to relax, they need to reduce their stress in their life. Okay, great. But if I don't do all of these things, if I don't make all of the food from scratch and plan all of these activities and things like that, then who else is going to do those things? And without those things happening, things in our family and our home harmony start to fall apart. So we need to make sure that we're keeping up with our values and our intentions for how we want to live our life and how we want to raise our children to help them stay healthy. Because, if we don't make dinner one night because we need to relax, then are we just going to get takeaway or a convenience food? And then are we going to, just go down this path of needing more and more convenience matters that are not going to be fulfilling our health needs? Are they not fulfilling our budget needs because we're spending more money outside of our budget on food that is made and not food that is made at home from scratch? All of these things need to be taken into consideration when we say just take a load off, hire somebody to clean the house, do something else. That it's not available to everybody. It's not accessible to the everyday woman. We don't have that village. We do have a lot of demands on our plate. So we need to come up with a solution to help us manage our stress better, rather than saying just reduce that stress and then you'll feel better. Reducing the stress can be a stressful aspect to ask. So how do we manage our stress better? My answer is in building resilience. When we build resilience, we increase our capacity to handle more of what life's throwing at us. And it's not an ideal solution. Ideally, like, our society is just going down the pathway of burnout and building or finding a way to live that's outside of that as much as you willingly can is a great opportunity. But like I was saying, it's not available to everybody and it's not an instant fix because it's a slow process that takes some time. So building resilience. What is resilience? Resilience is when we have hard times or challenges thrown upon us, that we are able to deal with it. We're able to manage it. We're able to be flexible with these things. Just like that 100-year-old tree that's grown so tall, okay, that tree has grown roots just as tall. It's just as deep as it is tall. That root system is providing stability and strength so that when those winds or those storms come crashing into it, that tree is not going to tip over, because it is supported, it is grounded. It's also in the flexibility of that tree's ability to sway in that wind, in that storm, rather than being frigid and rigid and stuck. It's going to snap. Okay, so building resilience helps us to handle the tough times without getting stuck into loops of shaming ourselves for being in a hard time, without hating on the bad time or the challenges themselves. It gives us that ability to see what happens and go with the flow. Okay, and that makes our lives so much easier, even when we're challenged by things outside of our control. So, how do we build resilience around these stresses? Okay, so the first thing that I want to talk about is that there's a common 5 factors that are needed to promote resilience. So resilience comes down to connection. So do you have good relationships? Do you have a community? Do you have people that you can talk to about things that you're struggling with or challenged by? Do you have a community to seek help? Those types of things. So connection and feeling connected to others, connected to self, connected to a greater faith or divine being. Connection is one of the things that builds resilience within us. Another thing, another factor, another C that builds resilience is communication. Knowing how to ask for help, knowing how to communicate or be aware when you are struggling is the other thing. Be able to share your struggles, explain what's going on for you, explore different options through that communication, and reframe what's happening for you. So we're not stuck in those cycles, as I was talking about, of shame or that negativity that keeps going around. Okay, how to reframe what's happening with you. The next C, the next factor is confidence. So having that confident view of yourself. And this is once again reflecting on those shame cycles that come up when we have low resilience, where we think we're just not good at this. We can't cope. We don't have what's in it. We don't have what it takes. Not having that self-confidence or that trust in your own ability to see this challenge through, to get to the other side, to be able to hold things together. That sense of self-confidence or confidence in your abilities to solve challenges is something that's really important to help you move with resilience. The next C, number 4, is your competence or your commitment to resolve what's going on. So if you're committed to, you can see that this is what's happening and this is the struggle. You can see that it's not your fault. It's just a challenge that's happening. And we've got some skills to build around it. We've got some communication skills that we can seek some support around. And do you have that ability, that competence and the commitment to look to the bigger picture, to problem solve, to work out the steps that you need to reach the other side? The big picture is about looking at the goal, looking at the outcome that you want to get out of this challenge. If we're looking at Christmas coming up, it could be, I want to get through Christmas and have a lovely day without having any meltdowns. That's fair enough. And what are the small steps that need to happen to get there? It's like, well, I probably need to get a good night's sleep every night leading up to that. So how can I increase the quality of my sleep? Because I know I'm not going to get the hours that I want, because I've got little kids that wake me up and I've got to stay up late to get these things done and get up early to make sure I'm meeting these requirements as well. So can I increase the quality of my sleep? That's a step that needs to happen. Can I make sure I'm hitting my movement goals? Because I know when I'm moving my body daily, that my mental health is a lot better. Can I make sure that I'm taking my supplements so that my nutrition is not depleted with all of the stress that I'm going through? Lots of things to consider is, what's your commitment level to moving through this goal to get to your outcome? What are the steps that you need to take to get there? So that's all about problem solving. Control is the last C, and the 5th factor that helps you to promote resilience within your body and mind. So managing your feelings, control over what's going on with you. So control over your triggers and your reactions, developing your coping skills, your emotional intelligence, understanding the role that your thoughts or your stories play in how you relate to other people as well, is having control over your own reactivity or your own responses to the world around you and your environment is the other factor that helps us to build resilience. Okay, cool. But that's still not solving our problems, because there is some more things that we need to address to make these things actually work. because it seems like a bit of a pipe dream to just say, just control your responses. Okay, just have confidence in yourself. Just communicate what your needs are and ask for help. Just look at the small steps and do each one at a time, and then you'll get to your outcome. Does that sound like a bit of a pipe dream? Yeah, and I'll tell you why. It's because often when we're stuck in the overwhelm of the stresses that are going on in your life, you can't see the small steps. It's really hard to see the small steps when you might be, maybe you're focused on the big picture. Maybe you can't even see what the big picture is supposed to look like. Maybe you don't know what the outcome is even going to be. You're just hoping for survival at this point. Whatever it might be for you, when you're stuck in that overwhelm, it's going to breed more anxiety, and that's going to churn up more like brain fog. You can't think clearly. You just feel like you have to keep rushing and keep moving, and that's not going to help you dig those roots down deeper. It's going to keep your energy up, 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 and make you more tight, 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 which is going to increase that rigidness that is not going to lend to bending in the wind. It's going to lead to more snapping. Okay. So really what we need to look at is, okay, you're a mom. You've been running on cortisol and stress probably all year, and probably for a few years leading up to this point. You've probably been pregnant and breastfeeding over the last few years. These types of things have probably depleted your nutritional stores. We're probably running quite low in that area. So if you've got nutrient depletions, if you're not getting enough nutrition in through your daily wholesome diet, then we may be missing some of the building blocks that you need to keep your body running. So we need these building blocks to build our neurotransmitters for calm, to be able to feed our adrenals all of the minerals that they need to keep us going. Because when we are in high stress mode, our body is going to be burning through a lot more magnesium, B vitamins, vitamin C, all of these good nutrients. Are we getting enough of these things into our diet to be able to keep feeding our adrenals? The other thing that we need to consider is, even if we are eating all of these nutritional inputs that we need, is our gut at a space where it is able to absorb these nutrients? Or do we have an inflamed gut? Have we been dealing with IBS as a result of stress? And now we've got this funny tummy that sometimes things just go straight through you, or sometimes you're a bit constipated and blocked up for a few days, and things aren't really running as smoothly as you would like. So are you really absorbing enough nutrients through there? Because we need a healthy gut wall to be able to be absorbing a lot of our nutrients. The other thing is, a lot of our nutrients are activated within our gut. So if our gut is not in a balanced space, if we have dysbiosis with an imbalance of beneficial bacteria to the pathogenic bacteria, then we're going to struggle to convert our nutrients into their active forms in our gut, in our liver. All of these things get impacted. Liver is a big thing to talk about as well. Let's save that side conversation for how we self-medicate for stress on things like alcohol that take up all of our liver's time in processing and take away all of its time for doing the other jobs that we need to keep our bodies going. Another thing to talk about another day. But is our gut absorbing these nutrients? Is it assimilating them? Is it creating them? Is it converting them in the guts to make our serotonin, happiness hormone, all made in our gut, dopamine, our motivation hormone in our gut? Okay, we need to make sure that our gut is optimized with our bacterial balance on point. We're getting enough prebiotic fibers in our diet to feed our bacteria, to keep them healthy and thriving so that they can do their job. The other thing to think about, and I touched on this earlier, is your sleep quality. I understand that you're not getting the quantity of sleep that you might think that you need, but can we optimize the quality that you get so that when you wake up, you're not feeling like you've hardly slept at all? So that when you wake up, you can take the sleep that you did get and make sure that it actually got down to your energy at a cellular level. The other thing that we want to look at on that cellular level is your hormone balance. So if you have periods that are depleting you, heavy bleeds, painful bleeds, they're taking so much of your energy. If you have metabolic dysfunction in that your insulin is not regulated, your sugar balances are out of whack, all of these things are going to impact your energy levels. Okay, so all of that's going to reduce your resilience overall. So our resilience isn't just about our emotional capacity to be able to deal with these things. Our emotional capacity is impacted by our physical capacity to be able to take on these different nutrients. They're building blocks that create the neurotransmitters in our brain, our messengers that tell us that we're motivated, we're happy, we're focused. All of those things require an optimized gut, optimized hormones, regulated nervous systems, sleep, circadian rhythms, all in alignment, all of these things. And it doesn't take big work to get all of these things on board. We can get you back building this resilience with small little steps, small little habits that we implement into your daily rhythms and rituals, working. And this is what I do as a mother's specialist, is that I'm working with your already existing rhythms and routines that you've got and that work for you. And we'll take some little things and tweak what you're already doing to make it easy to put these things in your existing calendar so that you're not having to get up earlier or stay up later doing extra things. We're putting these things onto activities that you're already doing, so to help you optimize your resilience. There's other things that we can help you to build your resilience in a naturopathic space is adaptogenic herbs. I've got a few favorite adaptogenic herbs. I'm thinking things like withania, rhodiola, rehmannia, licorice root, Siberian ginseng has been a popular one in our house this week. So there's some beautiful herbs that are going to help us to adapt our stress system to cope with what's going on in our lives. These are things that we want to help us to expand our capacity and not live off them. It's just like living off coffee. We don't want to just like keep us going and not listening. We want to be able to listen to our bodies, but it's a practice, okay? It's a practice. And sometimes we just need a bit of support to get us through these challenging times. Also, filling in those nutritional depletions, making sure that you're getting all of those stress nutrients back in your body because you're probably burning through them quite quickly. So if we can keep them replenished and ensure that your adrenals are really healthy and happy, is going to help you keep up with this load. While we do a little bit of shifting around in the stories that you have energetically around why you need to be so busy. Why do we need to keep doing all of these things? Can we reduce any of these pressures? Can we reduce any of these stories that keep you running on that treadmill, keeping up with everybody and all of the things? So what can we do to energetically release some stories, some baggage, some conditioning around what you should be doing over the holiday period and align it a bit more with your values around what you really want to be doing in your heart? So that's where I take this work is through all of these elements, weaving through the physical, the emotional, the mindset, and the energetic to help you feel that resilience so that you can be that grounded, connected, and present mum over the holidays, so that even when there's external pressures and stresses, you can still remain solid in who you are as a mother, be really clear in your role as a priestess of the home, of the family, of whatever it is that's coming at you this season. So if you have any questions, I'd love for you to reach out. Let's have a chat and see if I can support you. Lots of love to you. Bye.